Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Leo. If Leo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's see what these tea leaves have to say today. And our card is the Hermit. So kind of going on that solo quest, which I'm already seeing reflected right here. Kind of hitting the road by yourself. Maybe actually taking a trip by yourself. But I see we have here, this is actually really nice formation. The Chariot. Okay, so we have an animal here, the Chariot, and a person on top. So I think that this is definitely work related. And I feel like there's almost a sense of somebody letting you down. It seems like somebody maybe, I kind of feel like it's somebody that you thought was going to be involved in your work goals. Maybe this is like somebody you've partnered with, somebody who you're doing business with, maybe creative projects and so on. But they really just have not shown up like they had kind of, made it seem like they were going to. They just are not holding up their end of the bargain. And, this is kind of, unfortunately, what life can be like. But I think for you, Leo, you feel it pretty deeply because you are the type of person that wants to get things done. You're really good at networking. You're really good at kind of meeting people that kind of match your energy. But not everybody has the follow through like you do. So I think we're kind of in a time, kind of in a configuration where you're kind of ready to just kind of do this thing yourself. Going on that solo project, right? And there's nothing wrong with that because I think that you really like to work alone. It's not something that you're afraid to do. And I'm seeing here we have a 3, but it also looks kind of like a coiled snake. Okay, and we have, it looks like another kind of snake over here. And somebody in the middle, okay? It kind of feels like, almost in a way that you just are perceiving people to kind of be coming at you, or at least they don't want you to succeed. I feel like this is how you feel, that you have a lot of opposition in your life. And I'm sorry I'm laughing, but it's, I'm thinking maybe at work. I don't think necessarily in your direct social group, but I know what that feels like to kind of have that feeling like, oh, well, these people who I thought really loved and cared for me, they seem less than enthusiastic about my doing well. But, the thing we have to remember is that not everybody is good at expressing how they really feel, number one. 2, a lot of times when people are struggling, it's not that they want you to fail or they're not happy for you, but they maybe are really just going through it themselves. And You know, I think more often than not, that's what we experience, is people having their own problems. And that's more what they're focused on than, you know, when you are having a part of your life that's kind of coming together. So, you know, I think that it's good to keep your eye out. You know, be aware. Be aware of how people move around you. But, you know, there's no reason to get super paranoid about things. Or, you know, look for problems where there are none. I think that, you know, my advice to anybody is to disengage. Give people grace. Disengage. Give them room. Give them space. Give yourself space. Do your thing. Reconvene later. You know, see if things have changed then. I also see right here we have a person that looks like they're holding a wand, and it almost looks like a musical note. So either maybe somebody like orchestrating, a conductor kind of creating some beautiful melody of life, or maybe a magic practitioner who would be a world creator. Creating your own existence, your own place to be, your atmosphere, you know, manifesting those dreams, those beautiful ideas you have, and bringing them into the physical world. Okay, I feel like that's a big energy. I also think that, you know, sometimes it is so much easier to do these kinds of things away from others. You know, at least for me, I like to work by myself. I like to be unwitnessed. I like to have room to be messy, to figure things out, get it together, refine, you know, refine whatever I'm working on. And then maybe bring people into it after all of that. I need those initial parts of process to be just for me. And I think that's, you know, maybe something that you should consider for this next work or the work that you are doing. Okay, we don't, you know what? I have heavy Leo placements. Not in my top 3, but I can't remember exactly what they are. But I know, at least I think I think my Venus for sure is Leo. Well, I don't know. I can't speak on it. I know I have a lot of Leo though. So I think that, you know, for us, much influenced by Leo, you know, we can definitely have that feeling of wanting to be among the people, be among our peers, our contemporaries. But I think it's also one of our great strengths to go about things on our own, in our own time. Okay. And then we have a very balanced hearts here. We have one this way and one this way. Okay, so I feel that you have a nice love connection of some kind. If this is a good friend, if this is, you know, somebody who you have a romantic relationship with, either way, I think that you have somebody that you can really talk to and rely on. And maybe you don't work with them, but I do think that you can go to them with your feelings. They hear you, they receive you, and that is really important. I think that is so helpful, you know, getting past some of these feelings and not getting kind of stuck or delayed in your work, just kind of keeping it moving, okay? And then we have this bird right here, kind of in a seated position. So I think that there is some sacred messaging coming through to you. So look for that in your dreams. I feel like this is definitely going to be somebody you know, maybe somebody who has passed. But I think that this is going to be kind of an important, I don't know if it's going to be direct. Now I'm thinking about it. I feel like this is going to be kind of the essence of something. This might go into the work that you're doing. Kind of dreaming about maybe a place or an environment, an atmosphere that you shared with somebody that you loved. For some reason, I'm thinking of like a rose garden or lilacs. Like lilacs, a bunch of lilac bushes. But I feel like when you were young, this maybe is like a grandparent or a great-grandparent. But I think for some reason this is going to come into the work that you, maybe this is part of the artwork you're making, or maybe there's like a scent in your workspace. But I think that this will be helpful. And I feel like this will come through in dreams more clearly for you. So maybe you will be dreaming about this, or you have been. And I think that it will be something important to implement into your process. Okay. I know for me, sometimes when certain personalities come into my dreams and we have kind of shared memories, or I have, you know, somebody from my past, we have some kind of potent event or memory, aspects of that memory can come through. Like I have a grandfather, marigolds, 100% always remind me of him. The smell of them. I've been keeping them in my living room recently, and it brings that energy right into the work that I'm doing. So, you know, things like this can be such a blessing, and really a high aspect of you performing the work that is important to you. It adds a dynamic of emotionality that maybe seems kind of passive, but really is very alive in all the things that you do. Okay, now we have, it looks like almost a flower, but a person who is a flower, and they're holding a child who is kind of reaching up for, it looks like a little rainbow. And this is a beautiful image of growth and peace. Okay, I feel like, you know, if you have a family, there's peace within your family. There is, this is where you go to be yourself, to reset. You have so much love here. If you are not actively in a family right now or have a child, this could definitely be related to your interior child work. And I feel like through your creativity, the things that you have been doing in your life, there is a lot of healing. I feel like there's this great sense of wonder and happiness, but also almost like you make yourself proud. You make this child within you proud of the things that you are doing. And that is so beautiful. And I think another thing to really kind of remind yourself to live in, to kind of swim in that energy. Okay. And I want to look at one last thing. We have, it looks like a bird here, kind of, and you can see a trail. It almost looks like it's gone down into the water and picked up a fish, and it is carrying it off. So to me, this is definitely a sign of abundance through your intellectual, mental, creative pursuits. Okay, so the eagle, definitely a sign of great mental ability, creativity, kind of that higher perception, because it's up in the air, right? Flying along beautifully, and then grabbing the fish, which is the sign of abundance. Okay, and so let's also look. We have a nice little heart right here. So there is a lot of love. And then we have an illuminating candle, okay? And we have a fish kind of jumping. So we have abundance, and we have kind of that illumination, awakening, a lot of sacred knowledge in this path. As you get into this more solo part of your work, I think that you are going to be receiving a lot of divine inspiration. And that is very apparent in everything that we're looking at. Okay, so I'm just going to do we have the gratitude little deck of appreciation, and I'm going to pull one of these cards. Then we're going to kind of wrap up the reading here. Okay. All right. So we have kind of mirrored women touching hands. And it says, express yourself. Let people know how much you appreciate them. And I think this is that energy with your family. You know, going to the places that you love, going to that relationship you have with somebody who is kind of your unconditional support, love. You know, really vocalizing your appreciation, your love for them. You know, these things, sometimes we just forget. We forget to say thank you. We forget to tell somebody, you know, hey, I love you. I've been thinking about you. You know, you mean so much to me. You know, life gets busy and things get, you know, jumbled up, and we forgo some of these sweeter things. And, you know, there's always time to just kind of slow down and let them know, even if it's just through a text. I think that this is kind of an important energy for you to partake in. Okay. So that's your little homework. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. You know, let's see. Oh, I was thinking, oh, this is my last reading for today. And my brain just wandered for a second there. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. And as you know, the algorithm is kind of the ruler of YouTube and everything else, really. So we like to make it happy by giving it the engagement that it likes. Things like liking the video, sharing the readings on other social media platforms, watching the readings from the beginning to the end. All of these things help. Of course, you don't have to do any of them, but I do like to mention it in case you are interested in supporting the channel in some way, because these are really some of the best ways to do that. Other than that, if you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. We would love to have you here as part of the community. And this really is a community. You know, there's so many people on here that comment every day. We've gotten to know each other. There's so much support between one another. So definitely think about subscribing. And if you want to leave a comment, please do. I love hearing from each and every one of you. Like I said, I've gotten to know people. I think you've gotten to know each other a little bit here and there. You know, I've been trying to share more channels that I've been watching as well. There are some really amazing people doing divination on YouTube, tarot. Of course, shout out to my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. His name is Paul, and he's amazing. A lot of you come over from there, and I thank you for doing that. I really appreciate you supporting both channels. You know, it's really been our dream to be able to you know, have these channels and do these readings, and it really is starting to come true, and that's because of all of you. What else? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I just hope that you all are having a beautiful, we're getting into autumn a little bit here, and I know in the Southern Hemisphere, I've been reading, some of you all are starting to have a lot of flowers blooming. You're in your gardens. It's going to be a lovely summer for all of you, I hope. And for the rest of us in the North, you know, pretty soon winter will be upon us. And I can't lie, I'm gonna miss the garden, but I am looking forward to the snow. I do love the cold. So, yeah, I think that's it. We will talk in a few days, Leo, and I want to tell you I love you. I love you so much. And enjoy this little hermit period you have going on. Always one of my favorite times. Doing your own thing. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you.